We are currently live on the stream, so welcome. Well, as you guys are aware, we're going to be doing a live reaction to the Nintendo Switch Direct, which just barely went live. So, without further ado, let's get started on the video. Please let me know if the sound doesn't come through. Okay, so it looks like we're going to open up with the Dragon Quest remake that is coming out. So I've been thinking about diving into Dragon Quest, but I just haven't really gotten the game yet, so I don't know. I'm still debating. Do you guys... And hey, while this is focused on the Nintendo Direct, feel free to comment down below about anything. I'm open to any and all questions. Alright, Shaheen said he's here first, and hello. He's a big fan of Dragon Quest, because he really loves it, so, thank you very much, Shaheen. Oh yeah, it's the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. Yeah, didn't the 3 HD remake come out earlier this year?
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. Today, we'll be providing information on upcoming Nintendo Switch games. We'll also have a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd. So please tune in for that as well.
So, I don't really care.
What you just saw
Shaheen is asking, what do you think will be announced? I don't really care that much about the third-party games in terms of the first-party games. I'm pretty sure they're saving all the big stuff for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which is next week. So I think that what is going to be announced, like first party, will just be small titles, like maybe a Kirby game, a Mario sports game, but I'm not expecting anything more than that. Maybe a Metroid Prime 2 remastered, I guess. Alright. No sleep for Kaname Dante.
The entry in the The Somnium Files series is stirring.
Huh.
You are Kaname Date, a special agent with a sophisticated AI called Aiba.
Okay, yeah. From what I'm getting, this is going to be like a third-party Nintendo Direct, but maybe a couple first-party games show up. I don't know.
Conduct interviews to investigate Iris's whereabouts. Dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche. And solve mind-bending puzzles in an explorable environment. Everything you learn will bring you one step closer to the truth. Uncover what's hidden in reality and dreams to rescue Iris. No Sleep for Kaname Date from The Somnium Files launches on the Nintendo Switch system July 25th.
Okay, Shaheen's asking, do I think Metroid Prime 4 will release on the Nintendo Switch or only on the Switch 2? Honestly, I'm hoping it's a launch title for the Switch 2, but kind of like how Breath of the Wild was made for the Switch and Wii U, it will be a simultaneous release, but the Switch 2 version will have a lot
A
more
classic
features.
action RPG returns with remastered HD graphics and
Ooh.
enhanced gameplay.
Nice.
Set in the capital city in the year Taisho 20, Raido Kuzunoha makes his living as an apprentice detective. But unbeknownst to others, he also fights alongside demons as a devil summoner. To protect the capital, Raido must investigate a series of supernatural cases. Fight in real-time battles alongside demons you summon. Work with your demons to strike an enemy's weak point, then follow up with a powerful attack. Cooperation is the key to victory. You can even turn opposing demons into allies. Demons can also be useful outside of battle.
Jack
And
Frost.
their powers are helpful in
Nice.
finding solutions during investigations. Guide Raido through a series of strange incidents.
I assume you're the bird who gave us a call?
As he uncovers a conspiracy that will shake the capital to its core. Raido Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, launches on Nintendo Switch June 19. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get that game.
Consume darkness. With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world.
Shadow Labyrinth from
You're
Bandai
greeted by a yellow
Namco.
orb known as Puck.
Alright,
But who is this spherical stranger? Moored in a mysterious, maze-like world, your battle for survival begins. As Puck guides you on your journey, you'll delve deeper into the expansive world. By examining your surroundings, you can phase shift and combine with Puck to explore areas you couldn't reach before. But
Shaheen is asking, what game do you hope to be a Switch 2 launch title? I would just say Metroid Prime 4. That's kind of the only game I want to be a launch title. However, I expect a bunch of other games to come out this year, like Mario Kart 9 or whatever it's going to be called, the next 3D Mario, maybe Splatoon 4. I'm thinking a Star Fox game. I would love a Star Fox game for the Switch 2.
Work to uncover Puck's true goal. And devour enemies to survive this cruel world. Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
July
this is
18th.
yet another game I'm not expecting to get. In terms of when I'm expecting the Switch 2 to release, I'm thinking maybe a June, maybe July release, just a couple of months after the Direct, so we don't know until the Direct is released and they give us an actual release date, but still.
Give different commands to the Patapon army. For example, Pata 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 Pon advances them forward. While Pon Pon Pata
Okay,
has them
Justin the Jumanji Peter Rabbit fan says hi, and Shaheen is asking, are you excited for the Zelda movie? Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I'm glad that they're making a Zelda movie. I wished it was animated, to be honest, but I'm just a big fan of animation in general. However, the fact we're getting a live-action Zelda, I'm still gonna be excited, and I'm gonna see it when it comes to theaters, that's for sure.
Leave the Patapons and March 4th, when Patapon 1+2 Replay launches on Nintendo Switch, July 11th.
Hey, just asking, do you guys think I need to turn down the
Welcome to
Directs
Zephyr Town,
volume, or
a cozy
is it fine?
place nestled in a windswept valley. This is where your new life begins.
Will DreamWorks Animation release their channel in the USA? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be doing their channel, because in the US, everything is going to be streamed through Netflix, Peacock, maybe Apple TV Plus, but that's kind of the gist of what DreamWorks marketing in the US is going to be.
Then sell your produce and other wares
Thank you,
at the
Shaheen,
town's
for
weekly
answering
bazaar.
my question about the volume.
As bazaar sales grow, you'll help the once famous market regain its former splendor.
Inspiring, honestly.
You can also get to know the locals,
I'd like to spend more time with you.
And maybe nurture a relationship if you find that special someone.
Ah, great. It's going to be one of those simulations.
Plus, taking advantage of Zephyr-Town's windy conditions can make travel and other tasks a breeze.
Here we go!
The winds of change are coming, and your new life on the farm begins when Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 27th.
Please look forward to the latest entry in the Story of Seasons series. Next, please take a look at this.
Okay, what are we getting? This looks interesting. Oh, it's a trailer for Metroid Prime 4! Nice! Okay, looks like Metroid Prime 4 is coming to the original Switch, and possibly the Switch 2. Who knows?
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward. She's not alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike. As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities. These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors. They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams with the power of her mind. But why were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Alright, so far the trailer looks very interesting.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Vuros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
Ah, they didn't give us a release date. Okay, I have a very... Ooh, what's this?
It looks like even more challenges await Samus. We hope you're looking forward to exploring with Samus's new psychic abilities.
Cool.
Okay, let's move on to some more headlines.
Ready to stir up.
Alright,
some
so,
mischief?
they didn't give us a release date, but like I was saying, I think that's because it's going to be on the Switch 2 as a launch title, and they don't want to give us the Switch 2 release date yet.
As the newest potionista of
Oh, so this is a
Curse
Disney
Cafe,
game.
You'll
Nice.
craft concoctions for Disney villains and get to know them in a new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs. Then
Cool.
serve them to your villainous visitors including Ursula and Gaston. With help from Yzma, you can upgrade your ingredients to produce some wildly wicked creations.
All right, this
The potions
game
you
looks
make
kind of
can influence
interesting.
each
I don't think I'm going to
customer's
play it,
storylines,
but it
leading to different outcomes every time you play. Who knows what mischief might happen?
does look very
Disneyland's
interesting.
Cursed Cafe launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Ooh, okay, maybe if it's a free game, I'll try it out.
Summon a spellbinding adventure. Welcome to Witchbrook College, where students strive to master the magic
All right,
arts.
I don't really care about this game, so let's read the chat. Shasheen says that I feel like the Wizards of Once and Mice and Mystics are canceled. Well, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. They were both announced back in 2018, and to this day we have no updates whatsoever. Considering the Wizards of Once book series finished in 2020, we should have gotten a release date for the Wizards of Once by now. As for Mice and Mystics, I think there's a possibility it's been canceled, but considering DreamWorks is working with a completely different studio to make it, I can't recall the name of the studio off the top of my head, but I know they're working with another studio to provide the animation. I'm certain that we're gonna get Mice and Mystics eventually, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very soon. Maybe it's the unknown 2026 movie? Maybe we're gonna get it in 2027? I don't know. Will DreamWorks makes the Adventures of Brightbill TV series? I don't think so. I don't think that The Wild Robot deserves a TV show because, well, The Wild Robot is great. Don't get me wrong. I would love if they made a TV show. Problem is, I don't think it deserves that kind of treatment. I think it needs to get a sequel and maybe even a trilogy. If all else fails, they could just make a short film about what the animals are up to during Roz's absence. I would be down for that. Shasheen also asks, do you think Shrek 5 will get the ugly Sonic treatment? No, I don't really think so. If you don't know, when Sega announced the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog back in 2019, they had to delay the movie because of a lot of film backlash, and they redesigned Sonic from the ground up so he was a lot more cute and less realistic. And it actually made the movie so much better. But with Shrek, I don't think they're going to take that approach. Maybe they might listen to us, but at the same time, I think that the designs are actually good enough to the point where, like, they just announced it now so they could get the shock factor out of the way. Now they can release the movie and people will think, oh, this looks good. Justin the Jumanji Peter Rabbit. Oh, Rift of the Necro Dancer. Yeah, I've heard about this sequel game. Wow.
And global leaderboards. Plus, more musical mayhem awaits in the Celeste Music Pack paid DLC. And be on the lookout for more DLC in the future. Rift of the Necro Dancer launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Cool.
Let's see what's in store.
What's this game?
Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza.
Ooh, I know a lot of people love Tamagotchi Life, so this would be a fun for a lot of people. Not me personally. Let's move on to some more chat questions. Will DreamWorks be owned by Warner Brothers after Universal? No. I know that DreamWorks would go around studio to studio in the past, but they are actually owned by Universal. Unless Universal decides to sell them, they're never going to let go of DreamWorks. Shaseen says the graphics have improved. I think he posted that back during the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. Will Abominable and the Invisible City get a Blu-ray DVD release for the complete first and second season? I think so, but it's probably not going to be for a few years based off of the release pattern of the Netflix DreamWorks shows. And, well, we're talking about a Peacock and Hulu TV show. So, maybe not, I don't know. Shasine asks, did you ever watch Gravity Falls? Yes, I did. Oh, we got Pokemon Legends ZA trailer. We'll talk about Gravity Falls later.
A new title in the Pokemon series. You'll begin your adventure by choosing one of 3 partner Pokemon. The setting is this metropolis that also appeared in the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y games, Lumio City.
Yep.
To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist, a company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out an urban redevelopment plan. Here, we'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon and people of Lumio City. Scattered all over town are wild zones. These
Cool.
areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
This will be fun, exploring a city instead of going out into the wilderness.
But they might be hostile. If you sense trouble, get to safety. There are Pokemon that live outside wild zones too. Some of them can even be found on rooftops. People and Pokemon live easygoing lives in Lumio City. But when night falls, the city's aura transforms. Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament, the ZA Royale.
Ooh, this looks
Trainers
interesting.
await in battle zones. If you're spotted, they'll challenge you to battle. Strike first before being seen, and you'll land a surprise attack. During battles, using a super effective move at the right moment is key. And with Mega Evolution, some Pokemon can power up even more. You'll start at rank Z and work your way up to rank A. Trainers who reach the top are said to have a wish granted. Day and night are 2 sides to Lumio City. It seems there are even more secrets waiting to be uncovered. What will you find on your adventure? Pokemon Legends ZA launches on
Yep.
Nintendo
Once again,
Switch
there's no
later this
release
year.
date, but I think this time it's more so that they haven't nailed
In
down the
Lumio
exact
City,
date.
where the game is set, the aura transforms between day and night. It seems there are even more secrets to uncover. Please be on the lookout for more information. in the
Soon
future.
says that I really want to get it. Yeah.
Please take a look at this.
Hello there. Oop. The game you're about to see oop, doesn't have a big, epic story. Oop. But what it does have is lots of funny little rhythm games. Oop. You wanna see? Oop. Just press the button to jump through the ring. Oop.
Alright, this game looks boring, so let's go to the chat. Back to Shasine's question, did you ever watch Gravity Falls? Yes, I did. I watched the entire series once, and I'm thinking about doing it again, just not right now, maybe if Season 3 gets announced. And I really enjoyed the show. I loved the mystery aspect, the humor, and it was really fun. Who knows, maybe one day I'll make a review on the channel. Justin, the Jumanji Peter Rabbit fan, asks, will DreamWorks make a PG-13 movie? Well, they got super close with The Road to El Dorado, but I think at this point, no. It's highly likely they won't do a PG-13 movie. They'll stick with PG. Soon asks, thoughts on Speed Racer from 2008. Never heard of it. I think I might do a little research after this direct. Thoughts on Eric Braza, voicing Puss in Boots. Yeah, he did it in the TV show, replacing Antonio Banderas, and he also voiced him in a short film called The Trident, which was released with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. All right. I really enjoyed Eric voice of Puss in Boots, and the TV show The Adventures of Puss in Boots was amazing as well. And I also loved the Trident. I'm glad they kept the same animation, even if they had to change the voice actors. Shaseen is asking, did you ever watch Spirited Away or any other Studio Gilby movie? No, I don't think I've seen a Studio Gilby movie. I watched a little bit of Castle in the Sky during a school thing, but no.
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system and a Legend of Zelda game in this one, freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want.
Okay.
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the Virtual Game Card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
All right, what's this virtual game card about?
When purchasing the digital version of the game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title. Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they're doing this to... Yeah, they're going to share it with the Switch too. That way they don't have to transfer over digital data and make you buy the game again on the Switch too.
Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want. Just as if you had inserted a physical game card.
Yeah.
With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to 2 systems.
Oh, only 2 systems.
Local communication with your second system is required, but only the first time. You can also lend out virtual game cards to your Nintendo account family group members. Connect to your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to. And you're done.
Cool.
They can now play on their own system. You can only lend one game at a time to a particular person. Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you.
Great. That's good.
Making digital games even easier to use. Virtual Game Card.
All right.
The virtual game card feature lets you swap games between Nintendo Switch systems as well as to Nintendo Switch 2 systems.
Okay.
This feature is planned to be added via a system update in late April. Let's take a look at more Nintendo Switch games.
All right. Oh, this is the highlights reel. Okay. So Sasheen asks, did you ever watch Spirited Away or any other Studio Gilby film? No, but I've heard good things about the films made by Studio Gilby, and while I've seen a bit of Castle in the Sky, I never watched it all the way through. And, yeah, I think one day I'll watch it. Soon is asking thoughts on Dragon Ball Evolution. I do not like Dragon Ball. I will never watch it. I'm sorry, that's just my... I don't like it. Will DreamWorks make a Yi spin-off movie? I don't really think so. If anything, they're gonna keep continuing the Abominable franchise, but Everest has never been the main character. That's always been Yi. So... it could just be called Abominable, but then Everest doesn't show up at all. It's just about Yi. I don't think they're ever going to make a sequel to the Abominable movies, though, considering that Pearl Studios is the company that provided the animation for that, and now DreamWorks and Pearl Studios are separate. Though, DreamWorks is outsourcing animation now, so maybe? Shasheen is asking, did you ever watch Amphibia, The Owl House, and Star vs. the Forces of Evil? I haven't seen any of those shows. I've heard good things about them, but I just never really got around to watching them, and maybe one day in the far future, but life is just busy, so, you know, I'm probably not gonna watch those shows. Thank you guys so much for all of the comments. I'm really happy that I'm getting this kind of attraction.
What histories will you uncover through the ages?
Okay, Justin, the Jumanji Peter fan, asks, will ye be a mascot of what Wish TV 10 if they shared with DreamWorks? I have no idea what that is. I don't think so. There's no way that a movie made by DreamWorks can ever be a mascot for a different company entirely.
Wander through isometric worlds filled with stunning landscapes to manipulate.
Will DreamWorks make a Sally, Orion, and the Dark prequel movie? I'm trying to remember who Sally is from Orion and the Dark. I don't really think so. I don't think that they're ever going to do anything with Orion and the Dark. It was just a one-time film. If they had any hope it was going to be a franchise, they would have sent it to theaters. Since it's just a Netflix film, it's highly unlikely that it's ever going to be continued in any way, shape, or form. What is your opinion on Jellyfish Pictures shutting down? Wait, what? Jellyfish Pictures is shutting down? I gotta fact check that, but if that's true, then that means that we don't get any more Dogman movies. I mean, it also means that we don't get any Spirit Untamed movies, but I mean, I'm fine with that. But Dogman? I was really hoping that Dogman could become a franchise. Okay, so now we got a golfing game.
A brand new entry in the Everybody's Golf series is driving onto Nintendo Switch.
Cool, but not really.
Time your button press just right.
Shaseen says that Jellyfish Pictures may shut down. Imagine if Orion in the Dark was a franchise, that would have been awesome. Yeah, I think there was a lot of potential, but the problem with it is, like, I really wish that they took the Boss Baby approach where even though it looks like it's a made-up story, it can very well be a thing that actually existed, but it's very clear that the entire film is just one made-up story, so I just don't see a way that they can expand the franchise. But if they had taken the Boss Baby approach where it seems like a story that could have happened, then it would have been really cool. And there could have been a lot of potential about possible sequels, prequels, maybe even origins of the Night entities. That would have been really awesome. Oh, we're getting a Marvel game now.
Marvel's greatest superheroes in the fight against evil. Pair up two heroes
Cosmic Invasion.
including the likes of the spectacular Spider-Man.
Alright, this looks interesting. I mean, I'm probably never gonna play this game, but still.
Combatants to aerial aces. You can mix and match a variety of heroes for an amazing array of possibilities.
Yeah, if you want to play a bunch of characters, Marvel has you covered.
Take advantage of your team's strengths.
Shaseen says that Toy Story 5 broke the timeline. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but if you mean Toy Story 5 should not have existed,
begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches on the Nintendo Switch system this holiday.
Yeah, if Toy Story 5 hadn't existed, then this wouldn't have been... I don't know. I was mad when they announced Toy Story 5 because it's another Toy Story movie that ruins the ending of the previous one. And that movie also ruined the perfect ending for the entire franchise. But yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Brent Nye says, you didn't announce that you'd be doing this at 11. Yeah, so I tried to do a stream earlier today, and it just didn't really work out. I asked my community what time they wanted to do it in a poll, and 11 o'clock was the winner. So that's what we're doing. Shaseen asks, did you ever watch Arcane? Well, yeah, I actually did, and I really loved both seasons of the show. I just, I don't know. I don't think it's got me interested in playing League of Legends anytime soon, but again, I loved the show, and I know my family loves the show. We've been rewatching it a bit, I guess. Soon asks, will DreamWorks make Dogman 2? Oh man, I hope so. Oh, we're getting a me game.
Glad that was only a dream.
That was Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, the first new entry in the series in over 10 years.
Yep, that sounds about
In
right.
the trailer, we saw Mii characters living on an island out at sea. What kinds of interactions do you think they'll have?
Well, I'm glad they made Tamagotchi 2.
We hope you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, will DreamWorks make Dogman 2? I really hope so.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct so far.
Ah, so far, okay.
Our final announcement is something a little different that's not a game. Here's Mr. Miyamoto to introduce it.
Hello, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct. Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has delivered Nintendo news directly to you.
Yeah?
And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today,
Nintendo Today?
which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games and characters every day.
Cool. Looks like it's going to be
After
fun
the
facts.
Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd,
Yeah?
news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well.
Ooh, that looks interesting.
Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices later today.
Good to know.
Anyone with a Nintendo account can use the app, so please try it out. That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoy using Nintendo Today.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
Oh, bummer.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, so that was the entire Direct. It looked very interesting. I'm glad we got a couple of trailers for Pokemon ZA and, of course, Metroid Prime 4. And Tamagotchi 2 was announced. That's really cool, coming to the Nintendo Switch. Nice. And, I don't know. Aside from that, I just didn't really care for many of the games, but let's continue reading the comments. Will DreamWorks make Dogman 2? I really hope that they do make a Dogman 2 because I love the movie and there's plenty of franchise potential. From what I saw, the Dogman movie was only based off the first 3 books, which means that they still have the remaining 13 left to go, and other spin-off movies could happen as well. I really hope we get a Captain Underpants 2, though, so maybe Micros Animation could give us that. Will DreamWorks make DreamWorks characters react to on Peacock? What? No, I don't really think that anything like that could ever happen. So, I don't know. Cosmic Invasion looks and sounds like an 80s arcade game. Yeah, it does look like an 80s arcade game. A lot of companies, like in gaming, are going for a retro approach in bringing the games to life because some people just have that nostalgic feeling, which is really good. Toy Story 5 takes place in 2009 or 2010, but she's an iPad kid. Oh yeah, Bonnie. Well, here's the thing. Toy Story doesn't take place in our world. It takes place in the Pixar universe, where all of the Pixar movies are combined. And thanks to the company By and Large, it would not surprise me if they invented iPhones, iPads, and all that cool technology stuff before it was invented in our world. Brent Nye says the poll is a tie. Well, no, there are 2 votes for 11, 1 vote for never do the stream. So I just decided, you know what, we're just gonna do the stream at 11 today. Soon says Toy Story 5 should take place in 2011. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't really think so. I think it should take place in 2012 because the 3rd movie takes place in 2010, and then about a year later, we know it takes place in 2011 because they have the Christmas special Hawaiian Vacation, and then Bonnie is going to school the following summer. No, the following fall. So Toy Story 4 is fall 2011, which means that Toy Story 5 should be 2012, I guess. Will TV stations borrow DreamWorks characters as mascots? No. I don't know what I gotta do to say that, but TV shows and TV station mascots will always be created by the TV company or or a popular show that streams on that station. DreamWorks characters, they will, well, unless they're made by DreamWorks for DreamWorks. So unless DreamWorks were to create their own broadcast station streaming service, I just don't see a way where they could actually do that. So I think that's all of the comments that we have. Unless anybody has any questions, like fun tidbits they have about the direct that just happened, hopeful speculation for the next direct that comes out on April 2nd, and of course there's also the whole we could see more content, more comments about DreamWorks and what's going on with them. I'm just going to give it about 30 seconds for more comments to show up, and if nothing does, then we're going to end the stream here. But I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for all of the chatting that we've been doing while watching the direct. I'm sorry it was a little bit of a disappointing direct, but I'm pretty sure that's just because Nintendo wanted to get all of their third-party games out of the way so they could focus exclusively on the first-party stuff in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct next week. But with all that in mind, Brent says you ignored my last 3 comments about how the iPad was released in April 2010. It said, oh, my poll said not today, not it said not today, not never. Yeah, okay, I might have been a little misleading on that. Brent also says, now that 11 is ahead and the stream is already over, it's, well, there's no reason to talk about the poll now. So, with that all in mind, thank you guys so much for watching. Loved the chat, and, well, there's been no more comments, so we're going to end the stream here. Hope you all have a fantastic day.